All right, guys, here I am. I have made a Dutch apple pie that in less than 10 minutes, I'm going to have to run and see if it's actually done. I'm having trouble with my oven's temperature because sometimes I can set it 50 degrees higher and it'll be like, so if it's like 350 degrees, I set it for 400, it usually brings it to the 350 degrees. So something's wonky with the oven. So it actually ran it up to like almost 425. So I had started to burn a little bit on the top. So what I did is I reduced the heat to the 400 that it was supposed to be at the beginning. And then I just put a piece of aluminum foil just setting over top of the pie. That'll keep the top from burning. But as soon as the timer goes off, I'm going to run and pull that pie out the oven. So I didn't make it on yesterday because we had some really weird, really loud thunder and the power kept fluctuating and the cable kept, not cable, but the internet kept fluctuating. So yada, yada. I missed yesterday. So I said, well, I'll go on today. We're going to do another mandala, but I want to finish this because I really need to get it in the mail. And now you can see as it has dried, if you tilt it a little bit, you can see that it looks a little raised here and there. Forgot to turn that goofball off too, so it's messing me up. Hold, please. And I want to come in closer because we're working on small little thing. It's going to be hard to see unless I come in closer. And that's as close as I can get. But you can see how it's kind of raised and it's shiny where I use the glazed pens. And I put a link in the description box for the glazed pens and the super tips and Barb's cards because you can get these through Amazon. I don't know if Barb has any left on her site or not. I know she's not feeling good. That's why she canceled yesterday. I'm going to do another 3.5-inch square. And I had thought about fussy cutting this out and then put it on the black. But I think I'm going to leave it because I kind of like the watercolor background on it. So I'm going to cut a 4x4 mat to make this into a card. And this will go in a larger envelope because, you know, I'll make an envelope to fit this card and put it in another envelope to send to Barb because, you know, they charge you extra if your envelope is square. So I'm going to cut a 4x4 here. So we're going to make a card real quick, and then we're going to do a mandala together. And because of the size, I'm not going to be able to use I always get confused. This is a compass. The other is a protractor. I don't have a protractor this small. I hope I have that right. It could be backwards. Knowing me, it's probably backwards. So for Lena, I'm making a 4.5-inch card. So I need a 4.5 by 9 card base. So I'll have to make it myself. That's one piece. I'm just going to use some cardstock here. So 9 and then 4.5. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Mina. Hello, everybody. I missed you guys yesterday, but I finished the dress that I got cut out. It's finished. It's on Gretchen behind me, but I can't reveal it until Friday because Friday's the reveal date for that little challenge put on YouTube. Not YouTube, Instagram. And I like to fold these while they're still in the scoreboard so that you can catch your corners even on the other side. This is a piece that flips up. So it's wearing. Scott hasn't put legs on this one for me like he did on the other wing. The other wing. Yeah. And my blade needs to be changed. Lena, I'm sorry. I hope that's okay. That it's a little fuzzy. So let me get some tape. Oh, I probably should sign this for her, huh? I'll sign it on the back of the card front. That's what I'll do. So there's nothing on the front of it. Let's get some tape. Oh, let's see if I can get it out of there. Oops. I have the tunic pattern cut out, and I was going to work on it, and then I got a bright idea to make another basket for somebody that gifted me something, so I'm trying to return it, the gift. I got to remember to listen for the timer. Listen for the timer. If y'all hear the beep, 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 let me know. That's the one thing I hate about my stove. Well, there's several things I hate about this stove, but it only goes buzz one time, and it's really low. And with my hearing loss, if I'm in the back of the house, I don't hear it, and then I burn things. I guess I could set a timer on my phone and just carry my phone with me all the time, but who wants to do that? I don't. All right, while I got the tape on my hand, I'm going to put this on here. So if you want to play along, you're going to need a 3.5-inch square and a compass and a ruler. And I'm going to do a different mandala than I did this one. I'm going to try something and we'll see if it works. Because I can't use the other on here. Hi, Janet Baum is back. Hopefully that'll stick on there good. This double-sided tape is usually pretty good. Yep, this is the one we finished day before. And I hope you guys don't mind me coming on more often, but I'm trying to get more videos up each week. I still need to do the video of our little trip down to Aiken. I've got it all on. All the clips are on the camera. I just got to do that. Maybe I'll do that tonight when Scott's watching his videos. All right, so I'll take a big pen, and I'm going to sign and date the back of this and hope that's okay with Lena instead of signing the front. So I'm just going to put today's date. March 28th. This probably won't get to Barb in time, but I'm going to try. And then I'll put her message over here. So that's the one we finished. Kathy says she's hungry. Did y'all hear the timer? It should be just about done, Kathy. All right. You're going to need a pencil and a Sharpie and the super tips. There it goes. Hi, Howard. You're going to tell me too? Is it ready? Let's get it out the oven. All right, I'm going to taunt you. Smell-o-vision. Pie. It's hot. I got to put it down. I've left the catio door cracked so the cats can come and go, but I'm hoping a little lizard doesn't come in the house or they'll kill it. I'm going to move you guys over so that I'm on firm table instead of on the crack here. It is a Dutch apple pie. Dutch apple pie, where you put the brown sugar and flour on top. So it's not diabetic friendly, but Scott has been craving sweets this week, so I'm treating him to a pie. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to divide our square up. And this is why everybody that says, why don't you just start with a circle? Well, to get your angles in, you need to start with a square. It's hard to line up angles on a circle. And Janet says she has the vanilla ice cream. Greg had bought some whipping cream, so I'm going to make whipped cream to go on top for later. And I got pork chops pulled to cook. So I'm getting hungry smelling it too, but I'm trying to be good. Trying to eat lighter. All right, I'm going to draw from corner to corner to start. So I line my ruler up and I try to have my pencil nice and sharp. And I don't want to push down and make a real dark line because we need to be able to erase these lines after we've secured which lines we want to keep with our Sharpie. So let's go ahead and draw a line. Doesn't have to be real dark. In fact, you don't really want it real dark, especially on watercolor paper because it's got an uneven surface. And if you push down, it's hard to get it all off. Oh, bummer. I know. I need to be good because both of our sugar is way out, but he's been working so hard and it's not like I bake like this constantly. I'd love to, but I can't. All right, so you should have an X across your square. Now it's a 3.5 inch square. So half of 3.5 is 1.5 plus 1/4. So 1 3/4. Make a little mark at the top of it. Well, in the middle of each side, and then we'll come back and we'll 1 3/4. We'll draw some lines across. And 1 3/4. I'm just putting a little mark because we're going to draw a line between the little marks here. And 1 3/4. And then we'll just draw a line between the two. Okay. All right. So now we got to do the math. and figure out what is half of 1 3/4. How many eighths is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 eighths. So we could do it at 3/8. So from your edges, mark 1 3/8. These we will not be drawing all the way across the piece of paper. No, that's not right. Half of 1 is a half, and then half of the 3/4 is 3/8. So it's over here. So you're going to make a mark at 7/8 from each of your corners. So I'm going to move my ruler over here, make a little mark right there, just on the edge, and do that all the way around again. We're going to divide our mandala up into more sections. Just do 7/8 of an inch from this edge. 7/8 from each corner. Seven eighths and 7/8. My work table's taller than I really need it to be to do this project. I should be on the dining room table, but I didn't think about that until just right now, which is silly. I should have thought about it earlier. This is if you don't have the compass or whatever. Just so you can see you can do this another way. Did I go all the way around? Okay. So now what you're going to do, you're not going to draw all the way across. We're going to draw from that mark to our center only. So line your ruler up with that mark and the center. And stop. Okay? This is going to give us lots of area to play in. And this is a way to add angles if you don't have the tool to do it. And this is also how you can figure out perspective. This should make for a very interesting mandala. It takes a little time to do all these marks. But you can see, if you look at it when you're coming with these angles, they don't go straight across. That one looks kind of wonky, but I'm going to keep going. Wondering if I marked that one wrong. I don't know. I'm going to do the best I can. But you really kind of do need the protractor to make your circles. Right. So that's a way to get a whole lot more divisions. This one, I just went corner to corner, corner to corner, and then did the halves, and that was it. That's how I did this one. So this one's going to have a lot more places to play. So now we need to decide what we want to do with the circles. What distance do you want between your circles? So I'm going to bring this down and just make a tiny, tiny circle for the middle. Maybe even smaller. So that's like a 1/2 inch between the pokey thing and the pencil. And I'm going to put the pokey thing right in the center. And instead of trying to move the protractor around, I just spin the paper. So much easier. Might go around a couple times just to be sure that I have a mark. Okay, I'll show you. And each time you put this down, make sure it goes in the same spot. It pokes a hole in the paper. And I'm just going to make and put a little distance between them. Put the pokey thing right back where I did the first time and make another circle. Don't worry if you missed a little spot. Just keep spinning. There we go. And then I'm going to open it up a little farther. So depending on how far you've opened it up, will give you the distance between your 2 or 3 or 4 sections, however far you want this. I usually just leave it in and then turn the little wheel and then make another circle. And I prefer to use a white eraser. And I'm going to make one more circle out here. And then I'll hold it up and show you. I'll tell you how many sections I have in case you weren't watching and missed it. I've got the circle for the middle, and then I've got, so I count the circle in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 levels of circles. So it looks like target that you would get points for shooting an arrow into it. So now we're going to take our pencil and we're just going to play. This is the part of the mandala making you do not like, is the math part. And Kathy says she has a template stencil that makes those divisions for me. I like to make the divisions because then it opens up the whole thing for me. So I'm going to pencil in my sections before I use the Sharpie because it all goes back to it's easier to erase pencil mistakes than it is to do Sharpie. And you need to take it section by section, starting in the center and working your way out. Pick something, anything you want to do, but only do one motion all the way around. So that's the most important thing. So if we look at this, I can see that I could make on each one of every one of the little spokes here, I'm going to put just a little dash line about halfway up each one around, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to put a little mark here, a little mark there. So a mark, skip this line, put a mark, skip this line, put a little mark about halfway up the line to the next ring you see. If they're off a little, it doesn't matter. Skip that one, put a little mark, skip that one, put a little mark, skip this one, and put a little mark. These are just giving you a reference. Skip and do a little mark, skip, and there you're back at your beginning. All right. So now from the little mark, can you see my little ticky marks there? Every other one? Where the line you didn't put a mark in, you can draw a line between there and there, and you'll get a pointy petal. So I'm just going to do a straight line on this one. You can do a curved line, and I'm just going to do those little lines all the way around. And this will give you kind of a star center. But don't erase anything until you are done making marks. And I'll show you the little star I get by doing this. All right, so there's my little star in the middle. And you'll be able to see this clearer when I put the Sharpie on, but for right now, that's all I want to do is get this on here. I'm going to close this curtain and see if that makes it a little easier to see. Yeah. All right. So now we got to choose what to do for the next one. And if you get stuck, pull out. If you don't have Barb's cards, you can get them. Let's see. We need one that's been divided up a good bit. But see how her cards are? And she gives you so many great ideas. You can do just a two color theme. And on the back of her cards, she gives you a word and then what it means. Always give without remembering and always receive without forgetting. Brian Tracy. So there's a word and then, you know, how to use the word and inspirational saying. Use a black pen to add lines and dots to your mandala. So she's got all of these. And if you buy the cards, you get a free course from her. Yes, these are Barb Owens cards. And I put a link to them on Amazon because I don't know if Barb has any more on her website or not. Oh, those are fun to do on the fabric. You can add beads too. But if you just get her cards, I mean, I'm not selling them or pushing them, but it's a good way to get started with mandalas. And then you get the free course. So it gives you lots of ideas. So we need something for a narrow border. I know what we'll do. All right. And she's real big on creating your, give your eye something to go to. So we don't really need to do that this time if we don't want to. Let's do a little arch between the points. So if you start your arch and you aim for the top of that next line and just do an arch up like that, or even a curved line and then do another curved line there. So you end up with kind of a pointy petal. I really like the arch better. And technically, when you take Barb's class, you should do all one side, but I'm being bad and doing both sides of this. But your muscle memory works better if you do one direction at a time. So if you're just learning, go all the way around doing this one, and then come over here and do this one, and then come over here and do this one, and then come and do this one, and this one, and then start back because I've already done those. So you could start at the point, come up this way, and see what you get a better look too. If you do one motion repeated, it will always look out better than you trying to switch between them. And I think I'm going to try to erase this first one because it's not good. I like white erasers myself because you don't end up with that nasty boogery stuff that you do with the pink erasers. That's a little better. So you can see now I've got the curved. All right, so now we've got the next one. Between these two, you have this, your line, your reference line that goes out. I'm going to start and make kind of an oval in between those petals. So I'll do this motion, go to the next opening petal, do that motion, do that, do that. So you're making a curved line That one I didn't do too hot. Whoops. We want the between the petals. All right. So I've started a new motion. So I did all of one side of this. Now I'm going to go back and do the other side, and I'm going to work from a different direction. That's more of the shape I wanted. But I'm going to go with what I've got. Barb would tell you, once you do something, commit to it. Make it look like you meant to do it. Just do it all the way around. Once you commit, do the whole motion. All right, so now I've got some narrow petals there. What I like about doing these like this is you never get the same thing. Yeah, and I just kind of just splattered watercolor. I use the crayons. I can't get to, yes, I can. Neocolor twos is what I use to color the background. All right, next move. What do we want to do now? Let's create on the lines that we skipped, every other one. I'm going to put a line, this is our division. Here's one of the circles we drew, and then there's one here. Put a little tick mark at that halfway point on each one. And you just eyeballing it. You don't have to pull a ruler out and measure it unless you really want to. And you can really see where that one's off. But I'm going to keep going. And this one's kind of kitty wonker too. All right. So from that mark to here, I'm going to draw a straight line. So if you take and you practice that motion before you lay your pencil down, you'll get a straighter line. So I'm going to go up to there. So I've drawn a line up to the top. And I'll do that from each mark up this way. And I'm sorry it's not very dark at this point, but it'll get darker when we go over it with the Sharpie. All right, I've been all the way around, so now I want to do the opposite way. So I'm going to go from the point down to that. So I'm going to end up with more pointy bits. Another star will form. Another star is born. It's such a beautiful day here. I've got windows and doors open and the cats are happy. They can go out on the porch and then come back in if a plane gets too low in the sky. This isn't very dark. All right. So now you can see it's coming. It's developing. It's coming together. You have some of the, well, what I did is I took my paintbrush and I got it wet, and then I held this over wax paper, just one of them, and got it started, putting water on the crayon. And then I just came over here and went and just let it dry. That's a term, Anyway. All right. So now we got to decide what we want to do next on the next, from what we just did up to this next line. So what do we want to do? What do we want to do? All right. I'm going to go from the point of the star we just made and do an arch up to this one, to the one in between the points. So I'm just, I want an arch. So it might be easier to make your arch left to right than right to left. So I'm going to do an arch like that. And skip there, come to the next line over here and do an arch. And then we'll do an arch here and do an arch here. And because you're going from the point between the 2 points, arch down to a point. So you're skipping one and going to the next one and coming down. All right. So now to mix this up a little bit, I'm going to I really want to do like I did on that other one. Where you've got just did your arch, we're going to do another arch, but we're not going to go to the point. We're going to go down here. So when you do your arch, trying to think of the motion, practice your motion, which would be easier. I think coming from the indentation between the points and arching up. So your motion would be from that lower part of the point from the line below, the row we did before. Practice that arch right here. And then we'll just do our arches. So you're going to end up with what looks like a flower petal kind of forming there, or a fairy wing, whatever you want to call it. But do that motion all the way around. That one's not too hot, but we're going to just go for it. That one didn't come back in too great, but you can see I'm not making it look too perfect, I hope, because it's not. All right, so you should have something that looks like this, okay? So now I'm going to complete the arch to make another bubble like we did down here, but inside here. I don't know if you can see. So I'm going to go from here back up like this. So you'll end up with something like that. It looks kind of like a megaphone. Is Pam here? Did I see a Pam? Pam. Made by Pam. Hi, Made by Pam. So I'm going to do that arch all the way around. And all of these will be more clear when I go over each part of it with the Sharpie. Because I don't want to go too crazy with the pencil, because I want to be able to erase it. All right, so you should have something like that. Okay, so now we need to decide what we're going to do with some of this other space that we have here. We might want to decide to just take and go back over our pencil for the circle and say, that's the part I want to keep for this next part. And I think that would be a good thing to do here. So just take each section between the megaphones, we'll call those megaphones, and go over your circle so you'll know that you want to keep that. You're not going to be able to see any of this once we do the Sharpie, though. And the reason I'm using Sharpie is it's permanent, but it's only a layer too. So I'm going to keep that circle. So now let's finish it with another star. So let's go back to, I want the points to be opposite of the points in there. So here. So go to one of the lines that comes up through that's between 2 points of the previous star. And we're just going to take and we're going to draw a line from that point down to the line in between and do that all the way around. But what you're going to do is you're going to skip. So you could do this one, skip this section, go here, and we're going to make that same motion down. Skip the next section, go from that point on your outer circle down to there. Skip this section, go from here down to there. Skip that section, there to there. Skip, and then do one here, and then skip. And this is going to be a weird looking circle, star, because my spaces were a little off. All right, so now we're going to do the opposite, just like we did before, and go from the lower part by the inner circle to the outer circle, and this will finish the points of the star. You could actually do a mandala of nothing but star points if you thought about it. That one's, I'm trying to talk too much. That one wasn't straight enough. Tippy's like, who are you talking to, Mama? All right. A lot of these you can straighten up when you do your Sharpie too. All right. So that is the basic mandala shape that I came up with. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The swatch and a gauge probably is the same thing, but I don't know. It's to test your tension, so you can tell how tight you're going to work, and whether you need to change your hook size to end up with the size item that you want. If you work really tight in crochet, you can step up a hook size, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. All right. So now we're going to take our Sharpie and we're going to go over the lines we definitely want to keep. So I'm going to start with the star in the middle. And I'm just going to go over just those lines that I want to keep on this first section. And I really do better when I can just zen out. And I will check chat again after I get this all black, because I'm going to have to give this time for this Sharpie to dry before I erase all the pencil lines. All right, so next we have this petal here that I want to keep. But on your mandala, you keep what you want to keep on your mandala. So if you're looking at yours and you're saying, no, I don't want to follow Becky, you don't have to. You can do any shape that fits your design. All right, I'm going to do the other side of this. The whole object of doing these is to slow down and relax and calm your mind. For me, that's what it is. And you see that one I got a little off, but by the time we do color and frosting and all of that, it's not going to matter. And I'm doing just one side of this little bean thing here. This is when you can fix arches that kind of fell flat. You can just go where they need to go with the Sharpie. All right, and now I need to do the other side of it. So if you have any questions, hold them for just a sec, and I will be right out. Told Scott I'd be sure to have dinner today because yesterday I was sewing and I lost track of time. Whoops. All right, I'm going to do the star points next. So I'm going to do one direction at a time. This is when you really see what you've come up with. And when you go to do your frosting, if you don't want to use multiple colors, you don't have to. Like if you've used a lot of color on it, you can do all of your frosting, all the doodly bits you want in one color. But I like to use a multiple of colors, even if it's just black, white, and gold. All right, I need to do the other side of my stars here. And I have some larger pieces of watercolor squares cut that I think I'm going to do some couple larger mandalas. Okay, so the next thing we did was the arches from the point of the star to this line. So I'm going to go ahead and do those. You can see some of these didn't come out as big as others, but it doesn't really matter. All right, I'm going to do the inner oval part first instead of the outer this time. Just to show you that this kind of looks like shark fins. Dun 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 dun. Shark fins. And when you're doing one step at a time, you can really see where you miss something. You can tell if you've missed something. All right, so now we'll do this one. This one. You don't have to follow your pencil line if you want to straighten something up. This is the time to do it. After this step, there's no turning back. All right, and this is where I wanted to keep my circle line. So I'm just going to, oh, I'm sorry about my stomach. I'm sure y'all can hear it because it's really loud. I ate food. I did. I ate some grapes and some applesauce. Maybe it's the pie. My stomach's going, I smell pie. You didn't give me no pie. It's for later. You're going to have to wait. Oh, and another thing about Barb's cards is if you get, no, Tip, go on. Go lay down. If you get stuck on colors, Barb gives you color options. Kathy says, yes, I want pie now. We're all turning into Cartman. We want pie. It's coming together. And then we need to go here. Here. You know, you could take a square of scrapbook paper and do a mandala on it, and then you'll get a really cool background that kind of comes through the color a little bit. That looks cool too. All right. So if you have questions, now's the time to put them up there. I need to let this dry now before we erase it, or we'll just smear it all over. He seems to be doing better. He played all night, so he's sleeping right now. No, that's Callie. Howard's looking out the window. They've decided they've had enough porch time. He seems to be doing much better. I think he was just tired. I know. Every time you do these, you just don't know what you're going to get. It's a mystery until it's done. So I was going to show on one of these cards, she'll give you something to do. Like on this one, it says, color your mandala with all warm colors, the colors of the sun, reds, orange, yellows, and gold. This one, she says, draw groups of 3 dots or small circles inside a shape. Repeat around your mandala. So on the cards, she gives you ideas. Look at all the circles and circles and sticks, I guess you could call them, on there. So on each card, there's all kinds of designs. But I was going to see what she says on the back of some of these. There's all, like this one, she says, draw a mandala on colored cardstock. Fill the shapes with patterns and a black gel pen. It gives you the look of a Zentangle. That's cool. But if you get stuck for ideas of what to do, her cards are like awesome reference. Put it that way. So give me 3 colors and I'll get as close as I can to them with my super tips. And I'll go pull them while we're waiting for this to dry. Cartman, yep. Yes, tons of ideas on the cards. Absolutely tons. So purple. Purple's a color. So I'll pull the purple, turquoise, one more. I knew what you meant. I read Taiwanese. And yellow. Purple, turquoise, yellow. So purple, as close as I can get to turquoise. Oh, where is it? Turquoise and yellow. We'll just use these 3 colors. All right, but before we do any coloring, we got to get rid of these pencil lines. So I use a white eraser, and I tried not to push too hard with the pencil. Get rid of all the guides that all the guidelines that we took all that time to draw. You just erase them away. They are but a step. Let me get rid of some of the. Hi, Kathy. I was watching Kathy while I was mixing that pie up. She was making tassels. Talking about her sweet grandbabies. Fishing and doing the stuff they do. And her library book. I kept thinking, when you were saying you were doing your library book, all I kept thinking is, I miss card catalogs. But you know what? It's so much easier to find stuff on the system now. You just type in the title or whatever. All right. That's almost got it. I'm sorry if I'm jiggling, you guys. I'm trying not to. I got to be careful. My sleep eater will come in and eat half the pie. Oops. Then he wonders why he gains weight. Poor kid. They said they were going to teach him how to drive the big rig in the warehouse lot. I said, take that training. All right. So now you got to decide where you want your 3 colors to go. I'm thinking, let's do them in the order y'all gave me. So I'm going to start in the middle and I'm going to color the star purple because, you can. Pearl pink erasers. Oh, I hate pink erasers. Unless those are special. They always leave such nasty boogers. And they smear. I don't know. To each their own, Marty. And I'm not going to do 2 shades today. I'm just going to pull out one super tip for each color. But if you don't like one of these colors, switch it out for whatever you want to do. I love super tips. And what I really love is the fact that you can get them at Dollar General much cheaper than Amazon. But I did put the link in case you don't go out to the stores. So, because I think at Dollar General's, they're only like $4.50 unless they've gone up. The purple, and now the next one will go turquoise. I'll have to look for those, Marty. Mandalas are just so much fun to do. I hate Barb still not feeling good, though. But thinking about her today, I ought to send her a card. Well, I am going to send her a card because I'm going to send Lena's card to her. Hopefully it'll get to her in time. If not, oh well. I meant to do it yesterday, but yesterday was weird. All right, now when you look at your mandala, you really want to have a division, or at least I do, between the colors. We're using just 3 colors. So I don't want the purple. I'm thinking ahead. I don't want the purple to touch the purple where I've already used it. So I'm thinking the little oval shapes, they'll be yellow, and then I'll do purple in between them. I hope that made part of a lick of sense. Whoa! I love how these little pieces go zing. So now I can do purple in between them. Wow, that's a long scarf. 278 stitches. Trains going through. Sorry, that cough came out of nowhere. Another place to get ideas for your own mandalas is mandala um, coloring books. If you don't color them, you can use them as a reference guide as well. You don't have to color the pages if you don't want to, but you can look at it and get ideas to use in your own hand-drawn mandalas. And you can use your colors that y'all called out any way you want to. I'm just doing them in rotation from the first color that was called out to the last. But I am trying to think a little bit ahead. It looks like my next ovals is where the yellow's going to go. So my ovally shapes will all be in yellow. So yellow's kind of going to be the accent color on this, I think. And then it's going to read purple strongly. Sorry, I'm concentrating. All right, I'm going to put the yellow in the ovals because I don't want the yellow to touch the yellow. Yeah, so I'm going to do the ovals yellow here. Whoops. Basically, you're just layering in color. So you put your base colors on any way you want to. All right, so then we switch back to purple, which I'm going to have purple next to purple. Let's go to the turquoise real quick. We'll skip and do the turquoise in this big space here. I might have to add one more color. You all called out one more color. What was it? Let's see. Lime green. Okay, that'll work. Put this here. I think because we have so much strong purple right in the middle that I'll use get the lime green for the other side of the oval, and then I'll use the yellow on the points of the stars. Maybe. Let's see what it looks like when I get there. I'll grab the lime green in just a minute. Oh, there goes Greg's alarm. It's a rooster crowing. Man, he's got it set for 1 o'clock. He didn't get to sleep until, oh well, his business, not mine. But you can use all sorts of things to add color. If you wanted to, you can use colored pencils. You don't really want to use anything with a lot of wax or your gel pens won't work. Let me get the lime green. Too late, Marty. What did Marty say? It's all good. I'm going to put the lime green in there. Lime green. That's as close as I got. Looks like lime green, doesn't it? Becky is looking great. Thanks. And everyone enjoy the rest of your day or night. Oh, you got to go. Okay. You stay over there. I'm not ready for you, kitty cat. He looks so hurt when I tell him no. It's like, but I need a cuddle. Oh my goodness, Greg's alarm. I'm awake. Well, this morning though, I woke up and my eye, where it feels dry, even though I use the drops at night, and the eye doctor said he would really rather, if I can manage with the over the counter, it's better because the prescription ones burn and they cause other problems. And so I'm like, okay, so I use the drops that you can get over the counter to keep your eyes moist. Well, I got up this morning and I was having trouble with that eye, and I thought, I woke up 1 minute before the alarm went off, and I got up and I was having trouble with it, and I couldn't see out of it, and I knew when the lights started coming on, it was going to hurt really bad. So I got my wet washcloth routine, and I got in the recliner, and I told the cats, I said, I need 5 minutes. And then Scott came out at like 5:45, and he's supposed to leave at 6 o'clock. So I was like, oh, crud. The only way you can do a big hook is with a fat yarn. If you're, to get anything that's going to have any density, if you're talking to me. But if y'all are making a scarf, it wouldn't matter. Using the 3 strands for the baskets to give them some structure. So we'll put some yellow out here. They always look so bland when it's just color. But you could come in after you lay this base color with some ink tints and add some highlights and this and that. But I'm not going to do that today because I don't have the time to stay, for a long, long, long time. I've already been on for over an hour. And it won't be long and I have to start dinner because I promised I'd have it on time tonight. I was going to also make onion rolls to go with some pickled sausage that we have in the refrigerator because onion buns with pickled sausage is really tasty. But I'm not going to do that today. I don't feel like baking anything else. All right, so there's our base. Yep, the frosting just makes it. So I'm going to put my stuff I don't need anymore back just to get it off the table. And every time I say something like that, I think my lovely Aunt Mabel. Get it off the table, lovely Aunt Mabel. I don't know. Sometimes my brain works in mysterious ways. All right. So I got my gel pens here. Keep Barb's cards out in case we need some. Help me. My favorite white pens are the Signo white pens like this. I have other white pens. I have these that Greg bought me a whole box of these gouache pens. I don't know if they'll write or not. I don't know. They were inexpensive pens. I'm going to use the Signo, and I have more. This one gets silly. All right, so we need to do something on here. So let's put a dot in the middle. And maybe we could do a dot at each point for right now. Maybe we could do the 3 dots together. That would look cool in the point. So we'll put the dot there and then add 2 more to it. I'm trying to get perfect little circles, but it seems like there's something on the tip of this. Maybe we'll do a ring around it. Remember, less pressure is better with gel pens. You got to give it time to flow out. That gets that going. And maybe I'll just outline in this space. Kind of looks like a diamond of sorts. And this is the part where y'all lose me into the zone. Frosting time! We are frosting a mandala. Oh my word. Oh, every time I try to fix it, it makes it worse. I don't have a piece of scrap paper, or do I? We can use one of these. I'll use this. Sometimes you get crud on the tip of your pen, and that'll glob you up too. Journey, you crack me up. We're adding the frosting. It's like the icing on the cake. Let's see, do I want to add another color? Let's see what I've got in here in the glaze pens. Black is always good. I do have a white glaze pen. I also have the gold pens. And I think this is my last gold like this. It's a Uniball Signo, but I have the pens. Barb had these. It looks green, but it changes to gold. It's a greeny gold. So I'm not going to use those today, but I have them. Let's see what we can do with some of this gold. We'll get it going over here. Maybe we'll put just put a little dash line between the white circle and the 3 dots. Just to kind of pull them together. When you're working on one like really big, like I have hanging on the wall behind me, that takes me days to do. And the main reason for that is you have to kind of walk away periodically so everything can dry so you don't run your arm through it. Because that thing's like 18 by 18 or 20 by 20 inches. I know. Look at me. What am I like, as Janet would say? Oh, what are we? We got two different conversations going on. Who's making a blanket? I'm going to put a gold dot in the middle. Yeah, anytime you're working with pens or markers or any of that, always have your scrap paper, at least if you need to check the color or whatever, you've got the scrap paper right there. All right. So that kind of zhuzhes up. That's the thing about the super tips is when you use the white on them, you can see it's starting to turn kind of a pinky color. I think that's weird. I guess it's drawing up the super tip. All right, I need to do something here. Maybe we'll just do so pick something and do it all the way around. Pick something else, do it all the way around. All right, now I'm going to go back the other way. You know, isn't it funny? Our nature, when it comes to pens, is to push harder. This really trains you to stop doing that because the ink has to flow. I think I'm going to use some of this black too. I always work my ends in as I go. I just tuck them in under the stitches. Or you can weave them in with a needle later. I just try to catch them as I'm going, and then I don't have to look at them again. Let's do a wavy line in here. If I got this going. Come on, Becky. Put snakes in them. Little snakes. This is the pen I also usually go over all the black lines at the very end. So hopefully there's enough ink in here. There's not much ink. I might have to go over all my lines with something else. We'll see. No, do not come over here. Oh, and I really like to do the spiral in here. So I think he can hear my stomach too. And he's like, you need to eat something, Mom. You can use as many or as few colors as you want. If you've got them, use them. Let's see. I'll show you one of these. Let's see. I'll pull this green one out. We'll use it. This is a Jelly Roll Gold. The cap looks green, but let me show you what it does. It looks green when you put it down, but as it dries, it looks something totally different. I'm going to do some stripes up these here. Let's put 3 little lines in there. So as you put it down, it looks green, but then in a little bit, it's gold. Tippy, please don't start tearing my stuff up. They'll know exactly how much of a brat you are. I just got them when Barb showed these. I was like, that is so cool that it looks green, but then it doesn't stay green. Oops. No, Tippy? All right, let me give you guys a look. It's hard for it to see. Oh, bye, Kathy. That's what I do when I'm working on those baskets I'm making right now, is I just weave it in as I go. What else do we have here? We need to do something in here. No, Tippy. I'm going to do a dot and a line back to it. And we'll do a dot. Trust me, he's been held and coddled and loved on this morning. Never believe the cat. They lie. Dogs lie too, but this one's lying right now. You can really see where the space changes sizes. So do as much as you can to repeat your motion around. And then I'm just going to add some little leaf stems to either side of it, just to give it something else. It really doesn't matter what you do as long as you repeat it all the way around to give it uniformity. All right. Maybe we'll put some other dots around this. Tippy, don't be a butthead. He said, I'm going to go tear your stuff up. I'm doing it. Tippy, don't do it. Don't look at me like you're all innocent. You're not. You know the cats you see in like TikToks and Reels that are jerks that go and tear stuff up? That's Tippy. Tippy could be a TikTok star. I'm probably covering it again. I think I'm running out of ink in this, and I still got to get dots on all these others. Oh, no. Can I squeeze out enough to finish at least doing the dots? And I'll have to use a different color because this one's, it's like I'm on fumes. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Come on. I need a few more dots out of you. Oh, come on. Yeah, I told him you're a jerk. But Cole's the a-hole in the house. He comes in and goes around to all my cats and goes, row, row. Like, come on, let's start. Okay, that one's out of ink. What else do I have that's close to a black? Trash. Oh, I don't think this gel. This is a set I got at Ollie's, and they've never worked worth beans. But maybe I can fake it and get them to fill in. Well, it's not doing too bad. So I would say we're out of luck when it comes to black, maybe. I have a this is the glittery kind. We might use that for our thingamabobs. Yeah. Oh, let's see if I can make this work here. Let's put this black is not going to be raised like that other because it is not a moonlight or a glaze, I mean. Oh, and I'm putting it in the wrong place. So now I've got to do that same thing on all of them. So I want a black mark below and above the white marks that I put down here. I really don't like these that I got at Ollie's at all. Worth every penny. Not. I'll have to take a peek at chat because I've got nose to the table, not paying attention. Tippy is an obnoxious little thing. When he decides he wants attention, he'll tear my stuff up. He's such a little sugar. Oh, and then yesterday, I was laying that dress out, cut it out, and I had to go to the bathroom. And from the bathroom, I hear, and I come out, and they've tore the pattern, and yeah. Howard was up to it, into his elbow, so it was a dual action cat event. They were having a blast with my pattern. I was less than pleased. Then I get it all the way around. See, I don't like these. I think I'm going to get rid of them. Make room for something that actually works. See, I got this whole set. Whole set. And they're pants. They're awful. Let's do something else with this stuff. Almost tempted to go over those black lines with some gold just so they show. So. Don't tell me this is about out too. It doesn't look it. And I got to make sure I don't go over with my hand. I don't run it through something I've just done because gel pens need time to dry or they'll smear all over the place. So tomorrow is Wednesday. So I will be on again tomorrow. I think the bad weather has passed us for a little bit of time. And let's see. We've been working on, we finished our little journal. So we need to do a new project, or we can do making a scene from a magazine. We might do that tomorrow. I've got several videos I need to do for Friday because I will need to do a Friday sews because I finished that dress. I actually made something on the sewing machine, and I'm hoping to have the tunic and the Priscilla like pillowcase type dress done in time for that. But if not, it's okay. All right, I'm going to add just a little bit more white, and then we'll outline everything. Oh, bye, Marty. I've got cookbooks out to copy recipes for you, and I'll send them with the basket. Hopefully that'll be all right. It's all right. It's all right. I'm going to put a big white dot in the middle of these, maybe. It probably won't stay white. Change my mind. It's going to be 3 dots. A large one and 2 small ones. And then I'm going to outline all of the black. There goes Greg's rooster crowing again. This is a longer session, but it's a start to finish mandala. Got just a few more days in this month. This year is flying by. Has everybody done their taxes? That's something Kathy mentioned, and I was like, oh, we still have to do ours. Ugh. All right, let's see if this will work. It's supposed to have glitter in it, but we'll see. So, the thing I don't like about this is I can't tell if it's doing anything. I need one of the glaze pens. The glaze pens are the only ones that really work. Let's do blue glaze. Or should I do green? I just need to use a glaze pen that'll show. I have purple. I'll do the purple. Because we have purple in the thing, so that makes more sense. All right. Black lines are original sections. I'm going to do with purple. Tippy, stop. You have food. And the door's open. Tippy, stop it. I'll get the spray bottle. I'm looking at this as I'm going. Okay, that finishes the star. I think I'm going to outline around this circle in the middle. Thank you. So I need to get my little ongoing shopping list for craft supplies, and I need to put on there black glaze pens so that when July gets here, I'll know what I need to go shopping for. Black glaze pens needs to go on the list of things I've used up, and the gold. I need the gold too. I want some black glaze and the gold. And this will have to get set somewhere where it can dry. Oh, didn't dry very straight there. Doing these is usually a very quiet thing for me to do. I usually don't have anything playing, and I just do them. There's always so much noise in this neighborhood. It's hard to get totally zenned out. I guess this purple is going to work. It'll be a little bit different look than I was expecting to get, because the black lines just sharpen everything up. But I guess this purple's dark enough that it's going to do the same thing. And we hope our barb gets better. That one's blobbing out a little bit. Now, if you get to this final point and you set your mandala aside to dry, and you pick it up and you see something that you'd like to change or add to it, just do it. It's your mandala. You can do anything you want to. But you have to wait for the gel pen to dry. If you don't, you will ruin your piece. Oh, I went too far. I'll come out of Zen land here in just a minute and see I almost stuck my finger in that. That's what you got to be careful of. Marty be here telling me, do as I say, not as I do. I was thinking about sayings my grandmother had this morning while I was making the bed. Up, Journey had to go. Bye, Journey. She's probably long gone. But I was thinking of the whole have a place for everything and put it in its place. And what was the other one that popped in my head? It's not what you have that matters. It's how you take care of what you have. She used to say that to me. So you can live in a dwelling that some would consider below them for whatever the heck that means, because you never know where you might land, so you shouldn't be so judgmental. As long as they keep it clean and take care of it, that's what truly matters, is how you take care of what you've been blessed with. You might not think it's enough, but you have a roof over your head. That's what should matter. Greg used to hate it when I'd say things to him. I'd say, does it put food in your belly? Does it put a roof over your head? Does it clothe your body? That's all that matters. The rest of it's just whatever's. All right. I'm going to call this one done. I wish I had a black, but the purple's going to work, I think. I think. So if we flip this cheaty sheet over, then there it'll be mounted on there. Ta-da! So thank you guys for coming and doing a mandala with me. If you did one, I'd love to see it. You can put it in my group, Fibsville, Janet Creates, Ann's group. Any place you see me show up, I'd love to see one. Okay? I don't know if you guys can see that when it's like that. Oh. So there's the one we did today. This is the one I did the other day. So you see, however you divide your original square up, you'll end up with different point counts or different divisions and stuff. So you'll get totally different looks. All right, y'all take care and have a wonderful afternoon. And I will see you tomorrow. I will narrow down what I want to do. I have so many projects in the works, but I will have a project narrowed down by noon tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Bye.